Thank you so much. I was in the middle of doing my brows. I was going to say I'm trying to tilt it. I tilted it a little too far. Maybe I tilted it too much. I don't have one to tilt back up. All right, I'm gonna do the intro for those who will be watching the replay and or they are new here for the first time and watching the replay. Hey, Janessa. I do want to finish my brows though. It's been a day, y'all. It's like 75 outside. It's like 70 something in here. So I'm gonna do the intro as I'm finishing my brows, and I think I need to use my handheld mirror. This is the one that I purchased from Temu, and it's adjustable. So I don't have to be down like this anymore. It sits right up under, hey Grace, it sits right up under where my phone is. And because my other ring light died, the one I kept at my desk, I kept the holder thing. And so up top, I have it horizontal, and then the other one I put vertical at the bottom. So I don't have to ever switch out or be turning and twisting stuff. So, but because this is so tall, I can't use it for vertical because then it would sit like right in your face. So I'm gonna use my handheld to finish my brows. You know what? I have a feeling this is gonna fall. Let me put it on the floor. So hello and welcome. If you're new here, my name is Dion. I call this the crazy troll nation of YouTube. Why? Crazy concept. Be your authentic self. I know, because people will tell you how you should be, blah, 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 blah. And I'm here to tell you, just be who you are. The troll part is not caring too much about the beauty community standards. You set the standard for yourself. Try not to feel like you need to use a specific brand, a specific tool, a certain technique, because that's what they're telling you in a video. Use whatever you want to, oh my Lord. Use whatever you want to, however you want to get your makeup on, excuse me for smacking, in a way that you are satisfied with it. This is only coming off because I just put it there, because once this dries, it does not move. This is the MAC Fluid line, and the shade is Midnight Snack. Use whatever you want to, however you want to get your makeup on, hey Sarah, in a way that you are satisfied with it. You set the standard for yourself. The bottom line here at the Crazy Troll Nation is self-acceptance and self-love. Embracing your natural features, enhancing them if you want to, when you want to, but never feeling like you have to. Listen, love yourself for who you are and for how you look, even when you're not wearing face paint. And so that's the intro. I hope that resonates with you. If you've been with me for a while, I do hope that that's part of your daily affirmations. And 2 things to let you know about me if you haven't been here before, or if you didn't hear me say my intro. I do curse sometimes because I curse. And there's an organism that lives in my throat that randomly hiccups, gurgles, and belches. And I do try to be aware of it to say, excuse me, but sometimes, 1 or 2 will get past me and I'll just hiccup or belch and just keep talking. And when I watch it back, I'm like, I really am a troll. Dare I say, no, it's not. I was going to say the arches are the same, but they're not. And this side is squared off and this side's not. And I did fix it some, but then I stopped because sometimes you just got to stop. So that is the intro. Thank you for being here. As usual, in our live streams, we're going to do a lot today. We're going to, I got notes. We're going to very briefly discuss some sales that's coming up, the Sephora sale and the Nomad sale, and we're going to very briefly do my beauty budget update, and that'll be quick because I didn't buy a lot of stuff, which is awesome, for March. And then we're going to do a roundup of the palettes that we used. Okay. That we used in March. I'm going to just leave my brows. This side is a little further up. Fabulous, I don't know what to call her channel now. Because I keep wanting to say Fabulous 50ocity. I think she changed it to Fabulous at 60. But then, like, what's going to happen when she turns 61? So she confirmed that she's coming Saturday. I reminded her of the Sephora sale, and that if she wants to go while she's here, we can, because there's no sales tax here, and she can use my 20% because the Sephora is only like 10 minutes away. So Yeah, so what I'm gonna suggest to her is just change it to Fabulous over 60. Cause then, but then when she turns 70, she's gonna have to, no, cause if you put like over, like if I would have put for my channel makeup over 40, it's over 40. It's any age over 40. So that way it wouldn't need to keep being changed. And so if I remember, I'm gonna mention it to her. But anyway, so yes, I'm sweating. Yes, I have on this thick ass long sleeve sweatshirt, which I did cut. I did cut it so it's more like a 3-length three length sleeve. But I think it might be a good night, Janessa. Hi, Pamela. Because there was like 10 more people in here, and then oh, thank you, I appreciate that. There were more people in here, like almost 20, and now it's like below 10. So I'm thinking it's going to be a good night, Janessa. It's not going to be a Thursday, even though it is Thursday. So me talking about the I am sweating. I just got up at 5:30, which was a couple hours ago, and I'm just still tired. So really quick, the Nomad sale is going to be April 10th to the 22nd. I have no pricing details. For some reason, I'm thinking that they're going to have a code, like their own code to use, which if they do, if you have somebody's code, their code will not work. Yes, welcome, Pamela, to the Crazy Troll Nation. I did just do the intro for those that are new, but a troll here is a good thing. This means we just love ourselves for who we are, and we wear whatever we want to wear, and we rock it, regardless of what somebody else may say. So here, a troll is a good thing. So I don't have, hi, Lynn, how are you? And so I don't have any other details. I'm not on Makeup Instagram, so I need a mirror. And so I don't know what any of the specifics are going to be. If you are on Instagram, just keep an eye on that. And what else was I? And I'm thinking for some reason it's going to be site-wide. Hey, Tanya, with your little badge. Tanya's official now, y'all. Oh, mentioning that to Lynn and to Pamela, I do have a channel membership. So when you see the badges next to somebody's name, that means that they have joined the membership. And I do members only posts, members only polls, and we have recently just started doing members only live streams. And so there's a lot of stuff that we're doing aside from the regular everyday stuff. So, and the link is below for that if you are just curious to see what the perks are for that. So if I'm not mistaken, it said site-wide. The sale is going to be, you're still mad at the other person from the other live stream. Well, just let it go. Let it go and live your best life. It said site-wide on everything, like even their newer palettes. And so that's what's making me think they're going to have their own code for it, but I don't know, so don't quote me on that. But if you are interested in purchasing anything from Nomad, just keep an eye on that sale. And again, that starts on the 10th and it'll run till the 22nd. I do have a non-affiliated code, which is Dion, D-I-O-N. Non-affiliated, I mean, I don't earn any kickbacks or credits or commission. It's just a code for you to save 10%, but I really do think they're going to have their own code, and they do that sometimes. And even if they didn't, 25% is better than 10. But I will say this, though. When Notoriously Morbid, I am in their PR program, when they have sales, my code for 15% off still usually works for the sale price too. So it's like you save a lot. But anyway, so that's the Nomad sale. The Sephora sale, I know that's the thing right now and everybody's posting. It starts, what's today, the 3rd? It starts on the 4th. And I'm not doing a video about it, about what I recommend, because I know that some people do save. You're so over the Sephora sale. I know some people do just save stuff in their cart and wait for the sale, which is really cool because you are already intending on purchasing something. But some people will just buy a bunch of stuff just because it's on sale, and I don't recommend that. And so I don't have a recommendations list because I'm very content with my complexion products. What gets me every now and then, though, are palettes, and there's no eyeshadow palettes that I want. So I'm not even going to do a recommendation sale. I'm on the fence about whether, yeah, exactly. Some people do just buy it just to buy stuff. Oh, thank you, Lynn. I appreciate that. I really do. Welcome to the Crazy Troll Nation. And I am debating whether or not to get two other colors in the Sephora retractable eyeliners. And I don't know if they look like this. This is lime matte green. No, matte. What does it say? Lime green matte is this one. And I like them because they're retractable and they do not irritate my inner rims. But if you want a less something else that's not as expensive, NYX Cosmetics, I love theirs too, and these are way cheaper in at Ulta, and I do like Ulta's point system better, the reward system better, and so I do recommend, if you want the Sephora ones, for the entirety of the sale, Sephora collection stuff is 30% off, which may or may not be, NYX price at Ulta, even though Ulta has a lot of coupons. This year I'm not rouge, so I haven't paid attention to the sale. But then I ordered those blush trios, forgetting that Sephora collection is 30% off for everyone. Yeah, and so that's why when Fabulous comes here, I told her if she wants to go, we can go. Because she's not rouge either, but I am. So, we can just put it on my account and then she can just pay. And also, she doesn't live in Delaware, so her state, she pays sales tax. And so no sales tax plus 20% off. And so we will see. So she said she's going to look at the site and look at what's in her cart. But so I'm on the fence about whether or not to order certain more specific colors in their eyeliners because they don't irritate my inner rims. And neither does NYX and neither does MAC. MAC, I do have a professional code for me, for my makeup artistry business. And I get 40% off of MAC. And so that helps me a lot, even buying stuff for my kit. But anyway, so I would, if I had to make a recommendation, I would recommend Sephora collection stuff. And some people really love like their bronzers, their palettes, their lipsticks. And I do recommend their cream lipsticks. I have, let me count real quick, of the new formulation, 2, 4, 6, 8. I have 8. These are beautiful. These are beautiful, and they have a lot of different shades. They have neutrals, they have tans, they have dark shades. So they have something for everybody. But if you were looking for liquid lipsticks, I do recommend those. The pencil eyeliners, which are retractable. Yes, thank you, Lynn. I need to go. My mom said I need to stop watching YouTube live videos. She said it's dangerous, but I don't think it is. We're harmless over here, but I understand because sometimes we do need to limit, our consumption of social media. But thank you for being here and thank you for subscribing. We're here every Monday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So if you want to come back, and I have videos that go up during the week. And so, but enjoy your evening and thank you for subscribing and thank you for popping in. Also, I'm debating, I think I want to get another fashion fair. I love their powders. Y'all know this. And the PAO is 24 months. And when this is the only powder I use, I do go through this because it lasts up to 2 years. I go through it in maybe less than a year, I think. Maybe a year. If this is the only one I'm using. They have different shades. This one is perfect for me. Like, look. So I do have other shades in my kit. But I would recommend that. For me, that beat out Hourglass. It beat out Laura Mercier. It's all based on preference. And so, but those are kind of really the only things that I would, excuse me for smacking, recommend. Because when it comes to certain brands, you can get, 20, 30% off sometimes on that brand's website. So like the Ulta sale is not all that it used to be. And they're stingy with their sales and stuff. Anyway, I am sweating. So that's the Sephora sale, and that'll run from the 4th tomorrow until the 14th. And so if you're not rouge, I would say skip it because if you're, I think it's VIB, like under rouge gets 20%, the next level down gets 15%, and the base level gets 10%. You can get 10%. You can get 10%. Well, actually more than that. You can get up to 20% on brand websites. And so when people just be buying stuff just because it's on sale, I'm like, you can get a better sale than that. And so I'm not doing, these are my recommendation videos and pulling out all kinds of stuff. Like, I'm just not, because Y'all know me. If it's not something I'm into, I'm not really gonna deal too much with it. And so that's all I'm gonna say about that. Hey Locke, how are you this evening? So that is that. The beauty budget, an update. I ordered something and y'all gonna be like, what? They're gonna be like, nah, you lying. Two people know. Two people know. Two people know. And when it gets here and I do the unboxing, y'all gonna be like, y'all gonna see the title and be like, no, she didn't. No, she didn't. Yeah, I did. I am excited about it. I ordered it, I think I think 2 mornings ago. And I received a shipment notification today, but it hasn't shipped yet. And so, because I always click it just to see. And it says awaiting for drop off or something. But y'all gonna be like, what? I appreciate that, Locke. I do. Y'all gonna be like, and there is a backstory to it. So of course I'm gonna go into the backstory. But even myself, I was like, who am I? Yeah, I'm excited for that. So I think for one of the members only lives, I'm going to show my Temu stuff because most of it, if not all of it, except the mirror I showed y'all earlier, was for my kit. And so I think I'm going to just keep that over there. Yeah. So I'm going to pop on some powder and then we'll get into, actually I can probably do, yeah, my beauty budget update because I only made 3 purchases in March. I did purchase one other thing for investment purposes, and so we're not even going to count that because that's going to pay for itself. So I am sweating. So my beauty budget. Okay. Y'all know I got the Lethal Cosmetics water. They call it water liners. I keep calling it water activated liners because it's activated by water, but they actually call it water liners. I did order the bundle because it was cheaper than buying individually. The bundle was $75.60. Weird number, I know. And shipping was $10. And y'all know I hate paying for shipping. But you know, you gotta pay. You gotta buy like over $100 worth of stuff, and I never have enough. I want to say like 150, but I'm not sure. So that was $75.60 for that bundle. $10 for shipping. Y'all know I hate paying for freaking shipping. And so my total for that was $86.59 that I paid for that. I don't think I was able to use Teresa's code because it was a bundle. So I'm just like, really, y'all? Because with her code, it takes 10% off, which really just kind of knocks out most of the shipping. So that was that. From Sigma, y'all already know the Little Mermaid. She done went back out to sea. I put her in my McCarvey store, and that sold within like 6 hours. It was 50% off Disney collection. It was $59 and free shipping. In my cart, it came down to $29.50, and I listed it for $18, and so that almost paid for itself. Yeah, and they keep sending me emails to review my purchase. I'm like, it was garbage. I didn't leave the review yet. Y'all, my time has been crazy, and I have like so much stuff to do, and everything I'm not able to finish everything on my list every day, so it gets shifted. So that I purchased and sold since then. And y'all, Scott Barnes, I did post it on my community tab. He had a 40% off sale. So I bought 2 more of the eyeliner brushes. Is this the right one? I purchased 2 more of these because I found that I really like these for just putting a thin line right under my brow of color, and you can use it. I think it's their lip and eye duo or something, so you can use it for your lip liner, you can use it for eyeliner, whatever, but I really love it for under here. And I bought 2 of those. They were $42 each, minus $16.20, the 20% off, the 40% off. So it came down to $25.20. And I bought another one of these because I love these for setting powder. And that's usually what I use it for, is for setting powder. This was 32 minus the sale. It was $19.20, 98 cents for a protection thing, and $10 for shipping, $9.99. Y'all know I hate paying for freaking shipping. And so I paid total for these 3 brushes, shipping and the protection, $55.37. So my total that I spent in March was $171.46. And I'm like, that was really awesome. Randomly picked, this is number 11 from Luvs. I don't know why I'm even doing all this. And so I am doing well with my beauty budget. Here's something crazy, y'all, and not that it's crazy. I I always end up with more money in my beauty budget than like my regular day-to-day budget. And that makes sense because my day-to-day budget is stuff I purchase day-to-day, or gas or groceries or something like that. And my savings account is looking better too. That's better than my deli my deli account that I use, which is pretty cool. So what that means is I'm getting everything I need. And I'm going to use this blush that Bestie sent me from Sigma. And so that is that. So sometimes I am tempted to get more Sigma blushes, but I am like just hella content with this one because it looks like a built-in highlighter, this blush. But we're still going to put a highlighter, and then we're going to spray the face because I'm sweating. And what's been happening is it'll be like 70 something during the day, or upper 60s during the day. Then at night it'll drop back down to like 40, and so it's like hot during the day. And I do think my neighbor still has his heat turned up. Randomly picked golden pyrite, and so he's below me, so I get his heat. So right now it's like 76 degrees in my apartment. I do have the balcony door open, have a fan on over there, but I'm stalling, but not really, because I want to get into showing you our Roundup, and that's going to take 2 hands and for me to clear some space. So let me put these brushes in the kitchen. I know, y'all, having a small apartment is awesome. Am I forgetting something? I am forgetting something. Hourglass powder. So we used 23 palettes. This is Mood Light in the month of March. And I really like keeping track because it's ensuring that I am using everything. You notice I'm not putting this on my nose. You do notice that, right? And this is Eternal Light. So we're just going to briefly, well, not briefly, we're going to go through all of those palettes, my thoughts on them. The beginning of the month, I was like, man, I think it was like the second week of March. I'm like, I only used like 8 palettes. And so I think that was what motivated me to start pairing palettes too, because I'm like, how am I going to do a Roundup with 8 palettes? That don't make sense. So let me keep this here in case I spray. We're going to spray with Scandinavia spray. And I do have the palette stacked up over here, and we're going to jump into it. Whew. But one thing I do need to purchase is some more primer for my kit. And part of me just wants to get 1 or 2 paint pots because those last over 3 years. And that would keep a lot of primers, it seems, is either 12 months or 6 months. And so, hey, Dawn. So I'm thinking of doing that. I need a better system to make sure I'm cycling through my collection instead of just grabbing at the new nude. You know what? It takes a lot of organizing because after every time I do a look, I have to go. I added to my Roundup. I did a look yesterday and I used 2 palettes. And so in the memo on my phone, I titled it April Roundup, and then I listed the palettes under there. So like after every look, I'm going to that, adding that in, and then going to my list of what I need to use, which I did handwrite it here to keep at my station. Go to this list and then cross it off. And so it's like a lot of little bit of stuff to do, as most things are. So I think I'm in a habit now of, okay, marking it off and then adding it to the Roundup list. But, yo, it takes time. Excuse me for popping like that. So that's everything. All right, let's get into these palettes. So we talked briefly about the Sephora sale, the Nomad sale that's coming up, and my beauty budget. We did not use that, so that can go home. So we used 23 palettes. Let me make some more space. And let me put this over here. All right, let me make some space because we are going to tear them. This has water in it for when I use the water activated liners. Yeah, I'm just trying to make some space here. That ain't gonna fit there. Does that fit there? Yeah, let's put that there. All right. Oh, dry lip sangria. That video I did reviewing our skincare products, I must have been sleepy, which I usually am tired. I was like, we're going to put on Beauty Bio Sangria. And I'm just like, girl. I be saying stuff, and I'm like, they probably like, girl, that ain't what that is when y'all be watching it. What's scary, though, y'all told me that y'all know what I mean when I say certain things, and that's kind of scary. So I'd be like, damn. Like, y'all trolls for real. Like, we understand troll language. So, put that under there. You know what? I'm going to turn this little fan on. But you see it's not beating up like when I use that Fenty. The first one, because it's a monstrosity, and that's going to be at the bottom because it's too huge to stack on top of anything, is the MAC Pride palette. I did pair this with 2 other palettes. And we did use this in January, so it wasn't necessary. But I was just thinking, like, what new can we do? And y'all know that this is what this looks like. A monstrosity, but it is gorgeous. What I realized when I was pairing it is that we have this matte brown and, like, this shimmer brown. And that's it. And we don't even have, like, any, like, matte tan shades. Because I was thinking, oh, I'll grab it for a transition or whatever, which I don't need to because we have Sculpt. I can always pull from that. And I'm wondering if they did that. Number one, because Pride is very colorful. And so it makes sense. But then also, who doesn't have browns and tans? You know what I mean? My head looks so small back here. I'm tripping. But this is the Pride palette. And I keep saying I'm going to use it more. And so part of me pairing it was just using it more. And also keeping track of palettes that I use. Even if I pair it, I keep track of what look is it for this palette, what look is it for the other palette that I paired it with. And so for me, it's not always the entire palette, it's using anything within that palette. And so I started keeping track of that, which meant going into my gallery and looking back into a folder, because I have a folder for each brand. Like when I do the collage picture I used to put up in videos that I don't anymore, that goes into the gallery picture, the gallery folder for whatever brand it is. And so I actually sat down and went through that for the different brands that I have to see what number the next look is. Hey, Sylvia. And so that's another thing I've been doing. And I did count the Natasha Quints for March, but I'm not going to count them as separate looks anymore because mostly I pick them up to pair, or I just pick it up for like one particular color, brow bone, outer corner, something like that. So yeah, after this month, we're not even going to count those for the number of times we used it, but it'll still be in the number of how many palettes that we have. So MAC, y'all know this is top tier. I'm not even tearing yet, but yeah, I am kind of tearing already. Tearing the palettes. I was going to say something that happened to me I thought was weird, but I don't remember what it was. Who am I kidding? My life is weird. We also used, can I pull this closer without dropping anything? I have the palettes on a stool over here. I have started working with this arm because I realized if I baby it too much all the time, it's going to get stuck. I mean, not stuck, but it's really not going to have even half the mobility that it used to. And that's what happened to my thigh muscles. Like I can't even like reach back and grab my ankle anymore because my thighs are too tight. So I have been working it a little bit and it is getting better. So anyway, we have, you see a label on here. It's to remind me to put it back in my Macari store. Yes, y'all, this is in my Macari store. Bliss Astro Quad Iconic Illumination. And I actually purchased this from Macari. And it's not that I don't like it. I love it. And this is the big formula that people are all up in arms about that's not in Petalmorphosis. And people are, they are suspecting that it's not going to be a formula anymore for Pat McGrath. But they're thinking it might pop up in the Louis camp because she's now creative director over there. But I really do like these. I do get just minimal fallout with these. I love the formula, and it is very smoky. Regardless of what I do, it's going to be smoky unless I just use this shade and that shade. And y'all know I'm not just going to use them 2 shades. But the looks that I've done, when I look back, I'm like, I have other palettes I can do like very, very similar looks with. And so I decided to let this go. And so this is in my Macari store. The link is down below. I was going to say something, but I'll keep that to myself. Yeah. So that's one. That's in my McCoy store. But this would be top tier because I like the formula so much. It would be top tier. And so we'll keep that on the top tier side, even though it's in my McCarvey store. Yeah. I'm having trouble closing. Okay, there we go. All right, Natasha's Quince. Y'all know it's all top tier. And y'all know it is my goal to have everything top tier. These are mattes from, and we did use all these in March, and we paired them with other stuff. Actually, the look I did, we used one shade each from all 6 of these palettes. Yeah, I'm like, we're just gonna knock it out, just use all of them, and we did. And I really do like that look. These are mattes that were in what I called my Trio Chrome Quint palette because I realized I wasn't using the palette. And even though I love the color story, you know, the depth, the murkiness and all of that, I just wasn't reaching for it. And I think just because I have so many other things that have that same vibe. And so I'm like, I'll put this in here because this will be a quick grab like any of the other Natasha Quints. And these two are nice and grungy. This is more mustard in person than what I'm seeing when I'm looking at it where I'm looking now. But when I look down here, it's like very like Dijon mustard. And these are just basic, well, not even basic colors, but this is a grungy little Quint. I'll just say it now that I'm looking at it more. And so this will be nice for like a quick grab. Or if I'm using something like Unearthly Aura, which all 16 shades are either dual chrome or multi-chrome or shimmer, you know, this will be handy with that because a lot of Notoriously Morbid palettes are goth-leaning grunge and some are just flat out grungy. And so this will be good for that. Top tier, of course. You already know it. We used the mini Zendo palette. And I do like this on its own because it is like, it's a subtle grunge. And I really do enjoy this palette. And I do really enjoy the formula. This one is Mini Rose, which I don't know why I got it. I don't know if it was on sale or something. But I actually really like it. And it's weird because look at these colors. But I really do like it. And when I first got all of these, I did do looks with them just by themselves. And I really, really like them. This one is Mini Sculpt. I do grab this a lot for if I want a dark brown or something under my brow. So this is kind of like a grab thing. And the same with Mini Xenon. I do like the look I did with it by itself, but this is a quick grab for me if I want a black or a gray or put under my brow or, you know, something like that. Yeah, these are all top tier. And the Mini Pastel palette. We had, I was watching Jasmine's video, The Buffet Witch, and I commented that she reminded me of me because she dropped something and she went, and y'all know I'm good with dropping stuff and being like, yeah, I dropped it. I have some indie Quints in my Ipsy cart, LOL, at least half off or more. And these had to have been on sale because y'all know I don't pay full price except for like, no, not even for that. I was thinking of the Yucca palette. There was a 15% off code that Bestie sent me, which I'm glad she did because I was going to buy it full price. I didn't care because I love that color story. Bloom, I did pay full price for that. Who am I? But this is the pastel palette. I like the look I did with it by itself, and this is a pretty palette, and it is a versatile palette. If you're thinking of getting Pat McGrath Petalmorphosis, I was watching Alicia Archer's video today. She did 6 looks. Yeah, because she did one on each eye, and she did like 3 clips with that. And the looks were nice. They all were not that basic, typical, you know, look that we see with Pat McGrath, and I really liked it. Yeah, so if you want inspiration for that, hers is a good video to watch. And so this is pastel, and I actually like it. I never purchased a full-size pastel because I'm like, I don't really want to be dusty. But this is a really nice one. I did see something, because Ipsy still sends me emails trying to get me to come back. And they did show a Natasha Quint, and I think it looks like, and I'm pretty sure it is, one of her larger ones. The larger ones, full price, they're $48. The smaller ones, I think, are 20 something, but I do believe it's one of the larger ones. And so I'm looking at it and I'm like, nah, because I'm still trying to, I think I'm done with trying to reduce the number of palettes that I have, but I am keeping track of when the PAO has come and gone. And so that's only four. I only keep track of that because if I put something on and I'm like, oh, my eyes are irritated, I can help narrow, it'll help me to narrow it down to that specific palette. But I am really content right now. And I have 70 palettes. Oh gosh, there's one coming in the mail. So I'll have 71 palettes. And these are other Natasha palettes we used this month. A lot of the same brand. I only have, I think I'm down to 9 brands of makeup, maybe 10 as far as eyeshadow. And so you're going to see a lot of stuff. And that's part of me pairing is because it makes each palette new because you can't get that look just using one. You got to put other stuff with it, right? So I do remember, this is Lila. And these four, this is the video that aired today, actually. Hi, Doc. How you doing today? These four are from Biba. And I was questioning why did I even put Lila shades in Biba and these Biba shades in here, because when I use this palette, I don't even use the Biba shades. And when I use my Biba, I don't use the Lila shades. So I'm like, why did I even switch that up? But we actually paired this with Web Weaver from Notoriously Morbid. I do have a 15% off code. I probably mentioned that already. But this is what Web Weaver looks like. And this was a pretty pairing. I did start watching today's video, and I had just got to this look, putting on this shade, and I was like, whoa. But then it was time to come over here. So I didn't even finish watching that. But these are what they look like together. And I really enjoy it. This is top tier. And of course, Lila is top tier. So part of me is thinking to put the shades back, but I don't know if I remember where they came from. You know what? I remember where the Lila ones came from because they have the names on here. The Biba ones, the names are in the palette. So I might not know. But part of me is like, just put it back how it was. We used Circle Loco. Yeah, I know it was. Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, that's what I was just talking about when I was saying I was watching the video that aired today. And I had just got to that look, which was the third look. And then it was time for me to come over here, so I didn't get to finish that look. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. This is Circle Loco. I paired this with something. I'm trying to get the glares off. But I don't remember with what. This palette, oh, it was a Notoriously Morbid palette. But I forget which one. This palette inspires me. Every time I look at this, I'm like seeing different looks that I could do. Hello. Oh, thank you. Don't fall asleep though, because some people I watch always fall asleep because their voice is so soft and soothing. Thank you for being here. This inspires me because every time I look at it, I think of something else to do, and I still have this look to do that's been in here. I don't know how long this has been in here, but this really inspires me. This is my second time having Circle Loco and Biba, which we did not use this month. That was my second time having that palette. It was about a year or so ago, one of her end of year sales. They were almost buy one, get one free, so I got them both. And actually it was bundled together if I'm not mistaken, but I don't ever pair those two together. But this, a lot of people didn't like it. They said it's chaotic. They didn't know what to do with the color story. And I'm like, Circle Loco means crazy circus. And so, you know, it fits for the crazy troll nation. And I think what the issue was is the typical YouTuber's way of doing makeup. You do a transition shade, you do a slightly darker shade for your crease, and then you do outer corner and the lid. And for most people, there's not a transition shade in here. You know what I'm saying? This is a matte, this is a matte, this is a matte, and these two. The other ones that look like mattes, thank you, are either cream to powder or her creamy matte formula, but just regular mattes. This one, and this one, and this. And so people are like, I don't know what to do with it because they're stuck in their box of how they always do makeup. But y'all know I don't do my makeup that way, so anything goes. And so this palette, it really friggin' inspires me, and I'm glad that it's not limited edition. So that's top tier, of course. Actually, yeah. Bronze palette. Oh, I would love to have Circle Loco just to have it. Would you use it though, Tanya? I like Circle Loco, but I preferred the collab that Annette's Makeup Corner did with Menagerie Cosmetics. Pressed Pigments, girl, you know I can't use those. But anyway, Similar vibes, but I thought Menagerie was a better payoff. I mean, excuse me, was a better overall color story. Look, don't be clowning my Circle Loco. I freaking love this palette. But I know what you mean, though. And it is a preference thing. You know, a lot of people didn't like it. I'm like, shh, I freaking love this palette. There's only one look I did that I didn't like, and it was for a collab. So I was just like, But other than that, and I think I'm up to almost 20 something looks with this palette. This one meaning Circle Loco, this one and the one I had before. Hey, Joe, how are you tonight? You probably wouldn't use it just to have in your collection. That's money just to be sitting somewhere. Tanya. Hi, Carmen. Thank you. Yes, and my beautiful long hair. Hair flip. Hair flip. And browns, which I didn't get for a long time because I'm like, it's monochromatic. It's going to blend in with my skin tone. Y'all look at this palette. The only thing that doesn't blend in is like these two right here. And I'm not sure why I finally decided to get it, other than it being on sale, which I try not to just buy something just because it's on sale. But I will tell you this, in all honesty, I've been going back and forth in my mind with this palette since it was launched. Because I kept thinking it's monochromatic, everything is going to blend in, you're good. Very lucky that the tornadoes didn't hit our city. Oh my gosh, I've been getting, I'm glad you're safe, number one. I've been getting alerts, and not necessarily for where I live, because I have the weather app, the Weather Channel app on my phone, and so it'll show stuff, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. And then even on YouTube, some of the news channels, you know, they're reporting the storms and stuff, and I'm just like, I do really like this palette. The looks did look the same because when the first handful of looks I did not use these two because I'm like, that is too easy. Because I'm like, but if you take them out, this is an extremely monochromatic palette. Every look I did though was beautiful, easy to use. I love the formula in this, and minimal to no fallout. So this to me is just an easy palette, and this is one I would travel with because I don't have to think too much about it because whatever I put is going to look nice because it's all the same color family. You know what I'm saying? So they have retired 4 names of particular deadly hurricanes recently. Sarah's saying hi to everybody. She didn't say hi to so far. And so I really do like this. I'm hesitant to say top tier because it's not my color story, but I do want to put it top tier because it's an easy pickup. Whatever I do is going to look nice. And this is one I would travel with because I don't have to think. Now, if I take something like Web Weaver, did I say Web Weaver? I got to think about it. And I got to take my time. When I laid this down, or was it this one? That color was like, whoa. And I'm just like, oh shit, let me slow down here. So with certain palettes that I really do like, but I have to take my time. I have to really think, what am I going to put where? This one, I don't got to think about nothing, especially if I don't incorporate these two, because it is a monochromatic palette. So we are going to say top tier. I am glad that I did finally purchase it. And I have an idea to pair this with Bloom, because I think this with Bloom will look really nice, except Bloom, the shimmers and the metallics in there, some of them are darker than the mattes that are in here. These 3 are mattes. This is a matte and that's a matte. So I'm like, but y'all know I put different formulas wherever anyway. Joe does have a channel, I believe. Right, Joe? I believe so. So I did, this is top tier and I do really like it. I just love this formula. And some of her newer formulas, I mean, I've learned to love them, but the formula of this circle look like the old school stuff. But again, I do like some of the newer formulas too. We did use Bloom because I just purchased this last month I used. And I am going to hold these up together. But first, this is what Bloom looks like. And y'all like, girl, why the hell you buy that light ass palette? And you know you like dark, grungy, vampy, and smoky. I know. And I don't know what it was. And it was an impulse buy. But I don't even know why I had that reaction of, let me just go ahead and get it. Like, I'm still trying to figure that out. You do have a channel, haven't done much lately due to health reasons. I hope you're okay though, and that whatever it is, I hope that it gets better or is manageable. And I say that as a disabled veteran. Like, my issues ain't gonna never go away, but just trying to keep them managed is kind of where I've been for a very long time. And so, but I do hope that you do start to feel better. I think I want Bloom because I love corals, but don't wear them often, and the packaging is beautiful. Natasha know how to do packaging. She know how to do packaging. And one thing I really appreciate about Natasha, the known as how she does her palettes, excuse me for smacking, Each palette is its own thing. Even if you might say, well, this is a similar shade to something in pastel. If you look at the whole color story though, each palette is its own vibe. Xenon, grayscale, none like it. Well, not for me, like Glam Light, what was it? One of the smoky dark palettes or something. So even if you look at this, like, yeah, this pink might be similar to, and actually the pink isn't similar to anything in here now that I'm looking at it. Because this has some orange in it. But even if you say, you know, we have these colors or whatever, it's just a formula. And I had even told Bestie, I'm like, I'm not getting this palette. The day it launched, and I think I had credit or something, or like from her reward system. The day it launched, I got an email and I ordered it. And I'm just like, why I do that? So I text Bestie, she's like, I ordered Bloom. She said no judgment. But I do love, and that's what I'm saying, Tanya, yeah, distinct color story. Each palette is its own thing. And so if you want nude, you got nude. If you want, you know, a little smokier nude, you got glam. If you want pastels, you got that. If you want crazy colors, you got Circle Loco. If you want swamp water, you got yucca. Everything is unique within that collection. I will say this though too. If you have an extensive eyeshadow palette collection, you're going to be like, I have those colors somewhere. But me, I have like 10 brands, I think, right now, and 70 palettes. And so I don't have this. And so for me, I'm like, this is unique for me. And it is unique for my collection. And I do actually really like this formula. And some of these formulas are the newer formulas. And the same thing, easy to use. I don't have to think too much. Minimal to no mess. I would travel with it because of that, because it is easy to use, minimal to no mess. Like I would never, even if the motherships didn't weigh half a brick, I still wouldn't take that to travel because it's too much fallout. I can't just whip together a look in like 15 minutes. But I really like this, and it surprised me because y'all know this ain't my color story, but y'all also know I try to mix up my content here or there, just to keep stuff fresh. And I kind of feel like I have to do that because having 70 palettes, even if I use 4 times a month, that's a third of what I have. So if I'm going to use the same palettes every 3 months, I got to do something different because y'all going to be like, okay, she's using Bloom again. And so it does motivate me to do different stuff, do different color placements, pair palettes, do halo looks or whatever. But this is what they look like together. And so you see what I'm saying about the mattes and bronze. They're lighter than some of the metallics and shimmers in Bloom. And so I'm like, but we're going to do something. We're going to do something, but to me, it does look like they would go together. I'm trying not to glare. Yep, there it goes. There was the glare. But so that is my idea, is to pair them. That middle shade over here in Bloom, that tangerine orange or whatever, it doesn't look that orange in person. But what I'm looking at on my screen right now, and it looks bright orange, but it's really not. And it might be looking true to color on your side. I don't know. But yeah, my idea is one day to pair these. And it might be an all shimmer look. I do all shimmer looks sometimes. Y'all know I do. And I do encourage y'all that if you have never done an all matte look, do an all matte look. If you've never done an all shimmer look, do an all shimmer look. Because some people always have to have them mixed. And I don't, because I just put stuff wherever. But yeah, these were both top tier. I wonder though, like how long I will keep this, because it's not my color story. But if I'm going to be pairing palettes and doing different things, you know, it's going to keep it new. You know what I mean? But just on its own, like, I don't know, but I really like it. And I don't have any feelings of, oh, I need to mix and match shades or mix palettes like I did with Retro Glam. I have Retro Glam shades in Xenon, and I have Retro Glam shades in a Glam palette. I don't have that feeling with this to mix it. And even when I look at these two, okay, some of the shades in bronze show up the same on me, but I still I don't have that feeling of I need to like mix the palettes or mix shades or swap them out. Like I don't have that feeling, which is great. But yeah, so I don't know what's wrong with me, because there was a time when I'll be like, I would never. And now I'm like, yeah. And so, let me see. Dawn, you have those two. I looked at Naked Heat and I'm like, but then I ended up getting this, right? Make it make sense, right? Yeah. One thing, the Naked palette is in my Macari store too. Because I'm realizing it looks I do with that, I can do with other stuff that I have. And also, I don't like those small rectangular pans because then I have to use a brush like this, where if I'm doing my lid, excuse me, or even the first half, I tend to use this brush. And so I always feel like I have to be more specific with what I use to get the shadow out. But looking at the color story, and that is an easy palette to use. And I remember last time I showed it to y'all, the first 3 shades is a look, the next 3 shades is a look, the center 3 shades is a look, the last 3 shades is a look. So it's a very easy palette to use. And it came in clutch when I was in that makeup program. And they're like, oh, do a makeup, no makeup look. They didn't call it that though. But I pulled, I'm like, well, I have the perfect thing. And my instructor, no, my tutor actually, like, she loved the looks. So it is a good palette, and it's not a lot of mess, easy to use. But it was just like it just didn't call me for whatever reason. Yeah, I threw it. So we're going to see what we come up with when we do pair of those, but it won't be in the next few months because these are the palettes I need to use in April. And I think it's like 17 and it's like 30 days in April. So I'm sure we're going to use all of those, and then we'll wrap back on. So maybe in May. I don't know. That's why you asked Bloom. You skipped Bloom. You have the Heat and Too Faced Sweet Peach. I don't buy anything from Too Faced. It's just something about it. That brand does not like whisper. It doesn't even whisper my name, excuse me. So it surely doesn't call to me, but I do know a lot of people like that brand. You have Naked Heat as well, says Janessa. I need to start busting out some of my old Naked palettes. They haven't gotten used enough. I think I only have UD Heat and the original Smoke palette. And I did purchase Honey when it came out, and then I returned it. I was just like, And that was earlier in my makeup journey, not as far back as like 2010, but whenever it came out, whatever year that was, she put it on me in Sephora. And I think I was just listening to her. So part of me was still like listening to what other people said. Part of it, I think that was part of it, because I was thinking the look is okay, but, and then there was a sale somewhere and I purchased it. I used it like twice and then I returned it. I was just like, this really ain't it. And so I think I was still finding myself. I'm missing something that Dawn said, because Tanya's referencing something Dawn said. Okay, let me keep going. And you said you have those too. The original Smoke palette. I used to love that Smoke palette from Urban Decay, the one that was in a black case and it had the zipper. I loved that friggin' palette. I loved it. I loved it. I kept that for years and years. Years and years. You would Naked Heat for one shade clownery. It's called Lumber, I think, and it's Gorgeous Shimmer. I hope you got it on sale since you purchased it for just one shade, Janessa. I hear people say that sometimes. Oh, that one shade sold me that palette. And I'm like, what about all the other shades that's in the palette? Or Tanya said she bought it for the same reason. No judgment, no judgment. Not for that shade, but a different one. Yeah. Everyone went nuts for Honey. I was a fool for buying it. I'll say it, because I didn't want it and I don't know what happened, but then I bought it. I used it and I'm like, nope. I want my money back. Hey, Emma. How are you today? Thank you for being here. We're going over the palettes right now, and I used in March, and we talked about the Sephora sale coming up, and we talked about the Nomad sale that's coming up, and I did my beauty budget update already. So if those interest you, you can just wrap around, circle back, and see the replay. Yeah, that one with this, you still got it? After so many years, my lids be like, nah. But I loved that palette. I do feel like, I don't know. I was going to say I do feel like if they released it again, I would buy it. But then I have the Xenon palette. So I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. I do know for sure, without a shadow of a doubt, if they were to come out with, if Natasha was to do Metropolis again, I would buy that in a heartbeat full price. Like for real. That palette, some people didn't like it. Okay, then don't get it. I love that freaking palette. And that would be the only one that I would travel with because I can do my grunge, I can do smoky, I can do dark, I can do neutral, I can do ethereal. Everything. Don't lie to me, Dawn. Are you just saying that? Or have you heard something or read something? Dawn, don't be playing with my emotions. I think I only want Metropolis for one shade. And it's like 20 something shades in that palette. And they were the smaller ones. They were probably like this size. 28. I think it was like 28 shades in that palette. Because I think it was like 7 across. No, I don't know what it was. I think it was 20 something shades in that palette. That dark green. And people complain that those two, because one looks like, thank you, Janessa. Absolutely, Justin. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah. If we put our foreheads together, we can share eyebrows. Absolutely. Or you can buy you some MAC Fluid Line and Midnight Snack and put this on your brows. That's what I use. You can do that too. Janessa, like, girl, why are you playing? Yeah, some people were complaining that I had Mountain Dew today, so that's why I'm just like, whatevs, kind of. You saw an ad, but was it a new ad or a recycled one from like years ago? Don't play with my emotions. Do not. Do not. Some people complain that one, looking at it, they were both the cream to powder. One looked bluish, like a deep blue, and one looked like a deep green. But on some people, when they would swatch it, they both look the same, especially when they blended it out. It has to do with your undertone. Because when I put them on, my lids, they both did look different. And the thing is if you blend it out, yes, and then you lose some of the pigmentation, just pack on where you want more. And for me, it always worked. And so I didn't have a problem with those two shades, and I love those. You saw that too? Oh my gosh, y'all, don't do this to me. I think it's a mistake using old footage. She was talking about it like it was a new. Okay. Now I'm doing saying no. It said it was coming back. I'm trying to find something on it now. All right, Dawn, send it to my email or my non-makeup Instagram. Because I do chat with people about makeup there, but I don't like anything or heart anything with makeup. You don't play with my emotions. But yeah, they showed up different on me. And so, but yeah, if they bring that back, I'm gonna buy it. And right now I'm thinking about the Pride palette because that has all the colors. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I would still get it though. I really would. I figured Dion would be so excited. Maybe I got it wrong. Dawn, you know what? I'm gonna stop reading your comments out loud. Don't be playing with my emotions. Just don't. I love that friggin' palette. And that was early in my journey too. And so like I was like, wow, I can do any type of look I wanted to with this palette. And as I grew in my makeup journey, I loved it even more because I was doing new stuff. But oh, I dropped my little witchamajigget that I used to screw in the nails. You know, I'm gonna just leave it there. The nails on my one of them little wrench things that come when you buy something you gotta put together. Yeah, that fell off the table. So Yucca palette. You was going to get the mini Metropolis, but it was too slow. That didn't appeal to me because yeah, it did come with a brush. It didn't appeal to me because it was like nude shades except the green, and I'm just like, that's not enough. That's not enough for me. Yucca palette. When I saw it, I knew I was buying it. I knew I was going to get it. The only one that's not original, this is from Retro Glam, and this one is, the shade is Marlin from Retro Glam, because the shade that was here did not show up on me. But other than that, y'all, and people thought that this was weird for this palette, but it's not. This works. This works with this palette, with the color story. I think it's a mistake. In the ad I saw, she said she was celebrating her 5th anniversary with Metropolis. I just Googled and the brand launched in 2016. Sad pen. Damn. I'm looking at the mini now on one site. I wouldn't get the mini because all the shades are just neutral shades except the green. And so now if it was on sale for like $5, I would buy it. Because then I would just reach for it for that green, or how my other minis I just reach for it for a particular color. But Yeah, so this, even when I saw this, I'm like, I'm getting it. Because that's my swamp water, that's my grunge. And I would have paid full price to it. Bestie sent me a code for 15% off. And I was like, thank you. Because that's when I was on my perpetual low buy, which I still am. Excuse me. Which means not buying anything full price. But I was going to, but then I did that for this one. Do as I say, not as I do. Do not impulse buy. Excuse me. So, but yeah, of course, this is top tier. She's like, I see it. Let me add it to my cart. If it's on the Sephora site, they'll have a 20% off. But I do like Ulta's reward system better. And sometimes Ulta does sells 20% off for prestige items. And so for me, I would just wait because I like Ulta's system better. Dawn acting up. I can't tell if she being for real or not. Oh, on the Natasha's site, her reward system is okay too, except I cannot, it won't allow me to use my rewards points for something that's on sale. And I'm like, are you trying to be like Sephora and being stingy with how we use our rewards? Like what? The menu is on the site. Oh, okay. We have a lot of Notoriously Morbid because half of their stuff I did buy. The other half they sent to me. I am on their PR team, which I love. My video I did with Eternal Beauties that we did use because that was new. They sent this to me in PR. Somebody messaged me saying from Notoriously Morbid asking if they can share my video on their socials. I'm like, hey, absolutely. And then when I thought about it, I'm like, their YouTube channel doesn't have much traction. I might watch a short from yesterday and I'm the only view. And I'm like, and I think people aren't checking for them because I do know a lot of people are about the high shine shimmer shimmer. And, you know, quite a few are into indie brands. And some of them just ain't coming back to like regular makeup. You know what I mean? And so I think that has something to do with it too. And also grunge goth isn't everybody's vibe. But I was excited that they wanted to share my video. But then I'm like, they don't get a lot of views on YouTube. I mean, less views than I get. In some videos, I don't even get a lot. So I'm just like, but then I don't know what I know they also have an Instagram. I'm not on my makeup Instagram anymore. And so I'm guessing they have other socials too. But I was still excited that they wanted to share my video. Because I was looking at something online. I put in a search for something. And one of Katie's videos popped up like in the lineup of the Google articles and pictures and stuff. So they do, but see, that'll do that for me too. Like if you type in Dion Loves Makeup, you know, Web Weaver, my video will pop up from on YouTube. So, and I'm always shocked. I'm like, oh, that's me. Yeah, so sometimes, Metropolis Minis on the indie. So sometimes, well, not sometimes, but that's why I think it helps to like put the title of what I'm using, put the name of what I'm using in the title, because if people are searching for that particular product, my video will pop up. But I don't kind of want to always do that because it's like she's using that again. For y'all that are here, you know what I mean? So this is Eternal Beauties. I'm keeping the sleeve because it is not in the way at all of anything and it doesn't take up any space. This is what it looks like. And I did 3, and look at this. I showed this to y'all when I first got it. Like, inspired by Edgar Allan Poe. There's nothing on the back. They have the bunny, the PAO, 24 months, which y'all know I love. Vegan and recycle. But on the back of the sleeve, they have, this is the Notoriously Morbid symbol. This right here, and then they have the ingredients in the same little things here. And this is awesome because on here you can feel it, this outline, and even on here, like this is definitely one of their, I don't want to say one of their more unique packaging, but I can say it's definitely different because all of their packaging, y'all, like they do something and it's just like, wow, you know what I mean? But I was just like, ooh, and I was going to buy it. I said, let me wait, and then they sent it to me. I was like, thank you. Part of me wants to get another one just to have it, but I'm like, this is good for at least 2 years. So I'm like, let me just chill out. Sometimes you put the main products in your Get Ready With Me title, sometimes just a brand and sometimes just a theme. I like to mix it up. I've been doing that a little bit more lately, and sometimes, not often. My shorts, I will change the title in a heartbeat. Like if it's a short and like the next day it's only like 10 views, I will change the title, and then all of a sudden the views will jump up. But I don't change the titles of my videos often. But every once in a while, I'm like, yeah, people not looking for, a subtle grunge look. So, and so I'll change the title. Oh, Emma's asking, doing if you're getting it. Yeah, the mini came out. Oh no, Dawn's asking Emma if she getting it. It came out probably at least 3 years ago, I want to say. And it came out for Christmas, I want to say. But this is Eternal Beauties from Notoriously Morbid. I do have a 15% off code below. They sent a nice little postcard with it that I kept. It comes with a sleeve. I put my PAO information on there because I'm a label whore. But this is what the palette looks like, y'all. I did a 3-look video. I did these 2 columns as a look, these 2 columns as a look, and these 2 columns as a look. And so I'm like, they made it easy. They made it easy for us. And what I like was, this is not what I was going to say, but this has a green undertone to it. This was a nice look, smoky. Yes, loved it. These 2 center columns, doing a look with that, I think I said something like, if you want a lighter ethereal look, this is for you. This was a beautiful look. Actually, I really like all the looks. The most compliments I got was this, because this was dark and vampy, and it was a night when I was working down at the Playhouse, and a lot of people were like, oh, I love your makeup, I love your eyeshadow, I love that look, blah blah blah. So I'm like, yeah. And so all of this feeds my soul. And so when I roll back around to it, we're going to mix it up and not just do vampy, not just do ethereal, not just do smoke. But they made it easy. If you like dark shades, and the formula is nice, and if you want 15% off, use my code below. It is affiliated, so I do know that. And if you don't want to use mine, use somebody else's. When I shop, because it's counterproductive, if I use my own code, I use Katie's code, because I'm like, I'll still get 15% off. So, but this is that. Hi, Goretta. Do you have this too? Eternal Beauties? Is this what you're referring to? I'm having a sleepy day, but I drank Mountain Dew, so now I'm hyper and I keep stumbling over my words. But yeah, I freaking love this palette. And when I saw it, I'm like, that color story, y'all know that's my thing. So y'all know this top tier. Everything right now is top tier. So their Unearthly Aura palette. And this is what I was saying about their packaging. Oh, you wish you owned it. It's stunning. I'm a drugstore broke girly myself. Aw. But you know what? Some drugstore stuff be really nice, though. Like, for real. I don't use it anymore because a lot of it was irritating my skin. I have sensitive skin. But some of their stuff is really nice. This is what it looks like. And I cut out the whatchamajigget. Actually, I typed it up and then printed it out. So I have the shade names on here, what they're described as. And so they sent this to me. This retails for $69.99. 16 pan palette with multi-chromes, dual chromes, and shimmers. So this is the one I was saying that I would pair with whatever else, because this is all shimmers. And so far, I think I've only used this by itself, because I'm looking at this shade right here. Because I will do an all shimmer look. The first look I did with this palette was the Martini look for Creative Art with Heart collab. That look was nice. Hard to find good drugstore shadow palettes, but foundations very good. Yeah, they was messing up my skin though, them foundations. And I got to a point where I'm like, I said I'm gonna just not deal with drugstore at all. Even though I do like the NYX eyeliners, the retractable ones for my waterline, and I do have some of their lip liners. But other than that, I don't mess with drugstore because my skin, y'all. And I'm just like, do I want to take a chance? And then you can't return it. So I wasted a lot of money. And I'm like, I'm not doing that no more. Let me buy something I know is going to work, or if it doesn't, at least I can return it. But this is what this looks like. And they made it easy, too. If you want to do a green look, if you want to do a blue look, because this is bold. That blue right there is bold. If you want to do a purple look, if you want to do, they're not their ethereal look. Like, they really set it up nice for you. I'm thinking this will look nice with Web Weaver, too. Because this has, I was going to say 3 dark mattes, but not. This is a shimmer. But like these two, if I want to do purple. But y'all know I don't really gravitate towards monochromatic looks. And so when I did use this palette, I'm sure I hopped around in the palette. But I was glad they sent this to me too, because this is a beautiful palette. Tanya Dawn says she like, the Tanya, I like all drugstore products but eyeshadow. Back in the day, I used to love Wet n Wild when they had the 8 pans. And they had a matte and a shimmer shade of the same tone, but one was matte, one was shimmer, and they had numbers on it, like where you put it, or it would say lid, lash, crease, whatever. Those was nice. And there was another brand that did that too. But I used to like them Wet n Wild 8 pans back in the day. I haven't tried them in Lord knows how long, but yeah, I'm really loving this palette. Y'all know this is top tier. Who else did I like? I used to like got an itch. I'm trying to think, was it L'Oreal or Revlon? They had those 4-pan eyeshadow palettes, and one shade was always bigger than the rest, and it was like the most neutral nude shimmer shade. So I guess they're thinking brow bone or whatever, but I'm like, you don't need that much shadow for your brow bone. And on the back it would say #1, and it would show a picture of an eye look, and it would be like #1, #2, so it shows you where to put the looks. I used to like those too. I don't remember what brand it was, but I really used to like that formula. You just bought 2 Wet n Wild liquid lips. One is my favorite shade. I do have no, I don't. Elf. I have some Elf in my kit, but the bite-size truffles, because y'all, that is nice. Don't bite-size is a good formula. I don't care what nobody say. If I use them for me, no. But Maybelline. Maybe it was Maybelline. Yeah, maybe it was Maybelline. Ain't that their jingle? Might have been that one. But I definitely remember Wet n Wild. I used to like. I miss Max Factor. That is a throwback, Janessa. Oh my word! When I was first starting, drag out with Save Up for Mac, and everything else was Max Factor from Walmart. Yup. Wet n Wild liquid eyeliner. My Huda is dried up. Hard to find Max Factor. I forgot about that brand. So this is Night Seer. So all of their packaging, y'all, like it. All of their packaging is fire. All of their packaging. But so this is Night Seer. I paired this with something. This has 2 mattes for those of you who have to have more. This is a matte, this is a matte. Everything else is shimmer. These two look similar in here, but this one is more pinkish and this is more orangey. But I really like this palette. Very easy to work with. This palette, nothing in here is like glitter bukkake, as Teresa would say. But some of their palettes, it'll be like one shade that just be everywhere. But this one doesn't have any formulas like that in here. And it might do something with how they press it because they are hand pressed. But anyway, I really like this palette. So if I want something light, a lighter look, I'll use this. These two are dark in person. This is dark too, but it's a shimmer, but y'all know I don't care. Looking at it down here, it looks purple. Where you are, it's blue. I don't want to keep turning it too much because it's very reflective. This is top tier. I think everything is top tier this month, which will be great because then I won't have to go back. I think in Europe and UK is where to find that brand now. This is Season of the Witch Winter. I paired this with something. And I like how on the back of some of them, they show you what has the shifts. So you see purple on the outside and pink. You see blue and then you see a lighter blue. You see the pink or the red, then a lighter pink. So I like how they do that. So it was an old Natasha ad. See, Dawn, I told you don't play with my emotions. Yeah, they are only international now. That was an attempt to relaunch in the U.S. around 2019, I think. But it didn't really happen. I went to Ireland for a week for work and stocked up. You did the right thing. Janessa, you are such a wealth of information. Like, I'd be like, I really feel like I live in a cave. Because you be saying stuff and I'd be like, I didn't know that. This is Season of the Witch Winter. I don't know what the other Season of the Witches seasons look like, but this one is winter. Why would they be playing an ad that is so old in a product? Who knows, Dawn? I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know. I love most things. I love most all things Celtic. I bet Ireland was fun. So this is Season of the Witch Winter. This looks green when I look down here, but up here, like right now, it looks kind of bluish, but then it does turn green. So that's the duochrome for sure. Oh, look at this middle shade. And then, look, oh, I was so excited for Dion, I really was. I was trying not to get excited. That's why I kept saying, don't play with my emotions. And that was me telling myself, don't get too excited right now. But this is a really nice palette. And this has 3 mattes here. I don't know why I feel like I need to tell you how many mattes is in the palette. Just like when I say, oh, I use 7 shades for this look. I don't know why I always feel like I need to tell y'all like how many of something is. Yeah, this is nice. This, and this one, and they made it easy for you too if you want to do one column, one column, one column. But this is top tier. This one, this shade, and you see it's some like around the palette. This one right here, that's the flaky one. And even still looking at the palette, how you see these little particles? All of them are light purple, which is this one. So that shade, even just opening it, like the way the air hits it, it just pulls it out. I mean, I don't know what's happening. And every time I use it, I do clean it up, but it just comes right back. Because right now I'm cleaning it up, and I know next time I open it, it's still going to be all over the place. And so this one I do have to be careful with and tap off a lot, and then I'll still get fallout anyway. That's the one and done for you. Nice liner, thick lashes. The mini one is cute, but it's too many just the tan light shades for me. And I can see people getting it just for the green, but it is an easy palette to use. Most people would just use the basic shades on the lid and use green for liner, like most people. But y'all know we ain't most people over here, but excuse me. So this is top tier. I really do like this palette. I just have to be careful with this shadow. And usually I'll forget, I'll put the brush in it and I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Let me slow down, pat it back in. So this is that. And what gets me with this is the packaging. They're good for the packaging, looking like what the colors are on the inside. And I'm not seeing really anything bold with the packaging. But then when you open it though, this is bold and this is deep. And this right here. And so I'm like, they tricked me and I love it. Because y'all know I like dark shades. So that's Season of the Witch Winter. And Stone Cold Medusa. I think this was in the video that aired today too. Or was it not? No, it was a different one because Janessa had commented that she needed to pull hers out and use it. And so this is nice. I was just like, oh, okay, that looks creepy. And that's what the back looks like. And again, with how they show you what's what. This is reflective too. And I wish they wouldn't do that, but just like some come with sleeves and some don't. And some has, I don't know. Some has this on the back, some don't. Like there's just somewhat of a lack of consistency, but I like the palettes. And so it's like, I'm over it. I mean, I don't really care too much about that. These are all shimmers and metallics. And I don't think there's any super flakies in here, even though this one looks like it would be chunky. Like you see this right here, it looks like that would be chunky. I think this one does give me fallout though, because it is chunky, but it goes on smooth though. And so this is what this looks like. And I have used this only by itself. Some people wouldn't because there's no mats in here, but y'all know me, I'll just do whatever I want because that's what us trolls do. We wear what we want to when we rock it. That's what we do. And so that's what this one looks like. The only thing that's standing out to me is that this seems to turn different shades of orange. Actually, this one isn't reflective. Yeah, so it's like different shades of orange it turns. And it might just be lighting. It might really just be one shade, and the lighting is making it look like that. But I really do enjoy this palette. And even though they do a lot of shimmers, a lot of multi-chromes, their shades really don't dupe themselves. And so I'm just amazed by that. Because I'm like, how many dual chromes and multi-chromes can you do? But they do it. This is this fall, y'all. They did send this to me. One that has a sleeve. And this is a larger palette than... It's a little bit larger than like Stone Cold Medusa. So they're all not even the same size. And I'm like, this came out last year. They did send this to me. I am a member of their Patreon, and they do early access for pictures. They do early access if you want to buy something. And when I saw this, I was like, but then they sent it to me and I'm like, oh. I was like, oh. And so this is what the color story looks like. I was just like, oh. But even when I first saw the color story, I was like, I'm not buying that. But, and I am glad they sent it to me because I really like this palette. Like looking at it, it looks basic. And so I was just like, And And so I am glad they sent it to me because I did looks with it. I really like it. I love the formulas. There's nothing that's chunky or, you know, flaky or too glittery in here. Oh, look at this shade right here, y'all. This one right here. So we have this shade, we have that shade, and then we have this shade. That's nice. And so this is a nice shade too. It doesn't flip or anything, but it does show up that color, and it's really pretty. And so I know I keep saying it, but I am just glad they sent this to me because I would have been like, oh, but I said they sent it. Let me do look, y'all. This palette is pretty. This is pretty, and it's easy to use because nothing's really flaky or anything in here. So that came in here in that sleeve. These two, oh, I have a note on here I have two eyeshadows listed on here, and I put they both creased. I primed my lids with Fenty primer and top with the MAC paint pot. And I wrote the two shades down because when I use them again, I want to see, like, did it really crease or did I not really just blend out the primer well enough? But this is Spellcast. Both of these are Spellcast Beauty, which is a sister brand to Notoriously Morbid. You buy them through the Notoriously Morbid website, and my code does work for that. I have my eye on some more of their lippies, y'all. And I'm just like, I need to calm down. I have quickly become a fan of their liquid lipsticks. They don't ever send me... The only time they've sent me liquid lipsticks is if it was like free gift with purchase. And I ordered it. I mean, I ordered something and it's a free gift with purchase. But they have those darker colors I like. They have the grungy colors I like. They have the goth colors I like, which Sephora doesn't. So most of my lipstick collection is Notoriously Morbid or / Spellcast Beauty or the Sephora collection ones. It's a thinner formula. It makes it easy to layer. I'll put it on, let it dry a little bit, add a little bit more, and it stays all day. And just those colors. But I'm like, let me slow down. So this is their Garden Grunge. I had to get it because it said grunge in the title. So I did buy this one. This is what it looks like. They made it easy to do a 2 shadow look in each column. Or be like me and do that. Or even like do these four for a look. Do these four for a look. Excuse me for that glare from the mirror. Or these 4 right here for a look. So they make it easy. The top, these are mattes. These are all metallic / shimmers. And they show up. And I love the looks I did with this. Yeah, so y'all know this is top tier. And I really do like their formulas. And this doesn't have any flakies in it, which is great. And the only reason that I mention that is because I'll forget and just put my brush in it and it goes poof. And I'm like, okay, let me wait. Because y'all know I'm aggressive with my stuff. And so that's the me thing. So that's Garden Grunge, Spellcast Beauty. Spellcast Beauty, Dark Side of the Rainbow. I was tempted to get Light Side of the Rainbow. But I said, let me just slow down. Let me just stop. These are all mattes here. These are all the shimmers. 2 shadow looks if you want to do that. You can do these 4. You can do these 4. These are fun. Look at this shade right here. Look at this shade right here. Y'all. And this one over here. Look at this shade right here, right now. And now look. Excuse me for the glares. And the Light Side of the Rainbow one. Hi, Kaden. Let me back up with these. I love liquid lipsticks, but they can be dry. That's why I like those and the Sephora ones. And I really love the most the MAC one. The next darkest shade is a purple and it's a metallic. I'm like, why can't you do just a dark purple? That's what led me to Sephora, to get different colors. But none of these are drying, like for me. But then I do always end up like wiping off some lip oil or chapstick and put it on. Maybe that has something to do with it. Like, I don't know. And so my lips are never dry. You will reapply in a minute. I don't like reapplying. That's why I really like liquid lipsticks. And they don't wear off. Once in a blue moon, something will wear off, like this part of my lip, like just inside. But other than that, and it never looks bad enough to even for me to feel like I need to reapply. You know. But this is Light Side of the Rainbow. Dark Side of the Rainbow, excuse me. Dark Side of the Rainbow. Light Side of the Rainbow, to me, it just looks like the mattes are lighter, but the metallics they have, to me, they still look to be about the same depth as this one. And so, but because I love the formula in here, and these flips, these two, oh, But I'm like, let me slow down. Let me just chill for a couple minutes, couple days. But I do want it though. But I think I only want it because I really enjoy this one. You know what I'm saying? And that's not a good reason to buy it. And I know I would use it, and I know I would like it because I love this formula. Excuse me. So of course this is top tier. And when I first saw this, I'm like, I'm getting this back. But I did wait, and so I purchased both of these at the same time, Garden Grunge and Dark Side of the Rainbow. But they got some pretty stuff, y'all. And what I was saying about packaging, like look at their packaging. This one, but their packaging, y'all. This is like the indie version of Natasha, because we know she do packaging too, but they're everything is its own thing. Y'all, come on now. But why this one is bigger than the rest of them, I don't know. That's this fall, y'all. The last palette that we use for March, and this will be the 23rd, because I did use the MAC Pride palette like twice, but I only counted it once. Max Factor made me fall down a rabbit hole. Now I'm on Beauty Bay looking for Made by Mitchell. That is funny, Janessa. Your best liquid lipstick for work shift are Wet n Wild and Too Faced. I had something. It was a KVD liquid lipstick. That sucker was awful. It was drying and it was awful. When I removed it, my lips was even dry. I was just like, oh hell no. I like obscure makeup brands. What are some examples of obscure makeup brands, Tanya? I'm not being funny, like I'm really curious. Now that you got me with Beauty Bay. I have a link down below for Beauty Bay. I have links down below for individual brands and even some department stores. And QVC. Poshner, oh my lord. That's a throwback. Didn't they make skincare? That was makeup? Wow. Yeah, I did too. This was years and years back. They were on clearance. I should have known. They were on clearance at Ulta. It went on, it felt nice. But then after it dried, I was like, what the fuck is this? Poshner had makeup? I missed that memo. This is Lethal Cosmetics. When I buy from them, I use Teresa's Dead. Her code, which is garbage. That's the code. The code is garbage. She calls herself Garbage Queen, just like how I call myself a troll. I think her and I would be friends in real life. But this is, I keep the sleeve because it's not in the way. So this is what it looks like. Packaging is beautiful. I almost didn't buy it because it looked like a lighter version of Jolena, which has since died. And so we didn't do a moment of silence for her, but I kept her as long as my lids allowed me to. KVD was ish when it first came out, their palettes. I don't think I've ever had any of her palettes. I don't think so. But this is what it looks like. And I purchased it, and I liked it more than I thought. It is lighter than I want. What I didn't like about it is they had 4 reddish tones. And I know I pointed this out for you, so I'm doing this for people who are watching the replay or don't know. This shade, this one, and this one are from the Spellcraft palette. That palette, y'all, was not it. It's in my Macari store. And I have a few likes on it, but people were like, yeah, that wasn't it. And I can tell which ones I swapped out because you see how the pan has marks in it. So I had to dig it out. They're glued in. And you see this mark up here. So that's why those are that way. And I didn't think to write down what the name of those shades was. And because it still wasn't enough glue on the back of it, I was able to just press them in. This one I almost destroyed it. That's why it looks like that. It started to crack. So that's why that one looks funky. But I've used this palette and I made sure to use these shades. And because these two were the ones that didn't act up on me. La Vida Loca had peeps in the chokehold. I do not remember that one. I need more inspiration for this palette. I haven't done a look with it. You talking about this one? Midnight Serenade? Go on. Is that what you mean? And I do like this better this way because my complaint was those 4 reddish tones, they all kind of just look the same on me. So I only kept just this one and I swapped out the other ones. And so I look at this now and I am actually a little more inspired. It is still lighter than I think. And so what I'm looking at, you can do this quad or just these 2 columns. If you want a shimmer, this is a dual chrome in the middle. So you see how it looks purple and then it looks blue? These two can be a look, those two columns. Or you can go in rows, because I'm looking at this row here. This blue, y'all, is bold. Actually, it looks purple in person. I love this shade. This is a black. This is obsidian. But where I'm looking on my screen, it looks like it has a green undertone to it, but it is a black. And so I do like it better, taking out those other three reddish shades. Tanya's Beauty Box. To Tanya, that's one of the few times you really make FOMO for her. Held it in your hands twice to talk the stuff out of it. Oh, I did order those brushes, by the way. 2 brushes. They were 25% off. But then I forgot I had to pay shipping. But it was still cheaper than full price. You only like the first 2 dark columns. These two, I'm holding it upside down. But I do like the looks that I did with this. And I do like the addition of this shade and this one. And even this one, because this adds depth to the palette for me. So I really do like it better. And so I am glad that I did that. Yeah, that's the looks I did with Spellcraft was not it. They were just chunky messes. And some of them, they didn't want to show up. And even if y'all remember when I did the swatch party, I'm like, these shades don't even want to come to the party. Like, why? What are you doing here? Who invited you? Ugh. But, and I really did try, but, And after like 2 weeks after it came out, I don't see nobody talking about that palette, but that's how it is in Beauty Tube, is where, you know, after you knew no more, meaning 2 weeks after releases, you know, nobody's really talking about it, but that one was not it. So, quick recap. Lethal Cosmetics, Midnight Serenade, all of these are top tier. Yeah, they are. Garden Grunge, Dark Side of the Rainbow. I do want the light side one. Eternal Beauties. I commented under one of their shorts or videos for this. The person that does the videos, that's Marissa. That's my PR rep. She did a few videos doing looks with these, and I commented under one of them, please do more dark smoky moody palettes, because I love this palette. And so we have Web Weaver, we have Night Seer. And I just love that all the packaging is unique. I just wish some of them weren't reflective, like this right here, because then I can't really show you the colors. And we have Season of the Witch Winter, Stone Cold Medusa. It's fall, y'all. Which this packaging, it just looks like a child's toy, and I don't like it. I just don't like. It looks like it's for a kid, but the color story though. Basic, but I really like it, and everything works really well in there. But yeah, but it's still top tier because of the formula. Okay, and Unearthly Aura from Notoriously Morbid. So all of that, yeah, that's like a third of what I used last month, which will happen because I only got like 10 different shades. What's everyone's FOMO palette that you did not buy? I have none, actually. I don't know why, but I'm still going back and forth about Petalmorphosis. And I know that's not my color story. And I think I'm just curious to see like what all I can do with it. Watching Alicia Archer's 6-look video, like she did do some different types of looks than the typical, you know, type looks, which I really appreciated. So I think I'm just curious, like what can I do with it? I do know though, if I did get it, I know I wouldn't keep it. So it would be like, buy it, use it, sell it. And so I'm like, do I even want to do that dance? You know what I mean? One of Dawn's FOMO was where did on the second release. Then I grabbed it on the third, and I don't use it. You haven't used it at all? You haven't used it at all, Dawn? I used one melt palette. It was when they had the zodiac signs or something. But I didn't get the one for my sign because another sign color story I like better. It irritated my lids. I'm like, no, okay, that was it for me. I never tried anything else from them. You used it twice? Well, at least you used it. But yeah, I don't. And then also the reason why I never purchased until then was because the reviews were always so polarizing. Either people were like, I hate it, I don't like it, the formula, and other people were like, it's the best thing ever. So it wasn't like more people liked it than didn't of whoever reviewed. But it was just so, either they loved it or hated it. And I'm like, do I want to take a chance on this? And the answer was no. Excuse me, but I do like their eyeliners. which I don't, this is the only one I still have because I'm really into the Inglot, but now I'm really into the Lethal water liners, which I'm still behind the learning curve because I put too much water on a brush. I think I talked about it in a video that aired today, and it just bled. I was just like, So I need to tap the brush in the water, tap the brush off, and then go into the color. Or put it into the color and then tap it off. Either way, but anyway, it was too much water on the brush. So MAC, we use a Pride palette. This monstrosity, this beast. Bliss Astro Quad from Pat, Iconic Illumination, which I love. I just have other stuff that I can do the same thing. And then trying to reduce the number of palettes I have, I'm like, okay, you can go. Because I don't really feel like I would miss it. Tanya Hayes says she never got the original ABH Amrezy palette. Like the first collab palette they ever came out with. I remember I had Soft Glam. And then I purchased something else, like way back, way back, like when Soft Glam first came out, and then something else came out. And I realized it wasn't for me. That the formula was okay, but the color stories weren't my thing. But when I saw Fall Romance, yeah, your FOMO is Martine 669 because of how much I loved it. Oh my gosh, like I did over 20 something looks with that palette. If they released it again, I would buy it in a heartbeat. And I'm okay now not having it because of this. Even though Martine Cosmetics had more shades, which made it, but this is still, this to me is a mini 669. This to me is a mini 669. Even down to the blacks, because it was 3 blacks and 669. It was a charcoal black, they had a matte black, and then they had a black with sparkles. But damn, I love that palette. And I used it until it started irritating my lids. And then I remember we actually did a moment of silence for it because that, if they release it again, which they're not, because one time I emailed in to ask them. Yes, I did. Yeah, I emailed asking them if they were going to release it again. And they wrote back something like, no, we're not, but we have other exciting palettes. And I'm thinking, not exciting for me. When they did that shark palette, which was blue and white and something else, and then they did like their themes are really good though. And their themes are true to the color story. They had a diner palette, which was like old school diners, pastel colors and all of that. And everything is pretty, but I'm like, that's not me. 669 is me. Mission Triple X, that's me. And I do wonder if I would Mission Triple X again if they released it, but we know that they're not. So they're a brand that when it goes, is gone. It was restocked. When it first came out, 669 was restocked a couple times on Beauty Bay. And then after like the third restock, it was gone forever. Mission Triple X sold out a couple times. And then, but once it's really gone, it's gone. And I'm just like, yeah, that made me sad because that was my palette. So Natasha, we have this made up Quint here from the random stuff. We have Mini Xenon, Mini Pastel, Mini Zendo, Mini Rose, and Sculpt. And we have Leela and Circle Loco. Do I want to look at these together? No. And we have the Yucca palette. You already know. Bloom. She top tier, but I don't know what the future holds for Bloom outside of, excuse me for the glare, pairing it with bronze. But yeah, that 669 hurt my heart lock. I was just like, I did a look. My lids was burning. I was just like, so I said, okay, I just want to use those shades. I was determined to keep it. Then I did another look, and my eyes tingled a little bit. And I'm like, you know what? I'm like, I really need to just let this go. I'm like, I really need to let it go. But I tried to hold on to it. So those are the 23 palettes that I used in March. We have a lot of Notoriously Morbid, a few Natashas, and we have our Lethal BYOPs that the members helped me name to use. And so you're going to see, like this time, a lot of Notoriously Morbid. You're going to see a lot of Lethal. And you're going to see, yeah, a lot of Notoriously Morbid again. And we're going to use our 3 MAC 12 pan, Tie-Fi Color, Future Flames, Unfiltered News, Fall Romance. And what I need to use first is the Sigma Warm Neutrals that Jennifer sent me. Her name is her channel handle, Jennifer Steps, with 2 P's for steps. And so, yeah, y'all, And I do have a member's request for some pairings with the Notoriously Morbid shades for some of those. So we are going to do those too. But yeah, so that's going to be that. Under that last, the video, Tanya, I don't know if you were in there for that, if you were official for that. When I showed all of my eyeshadow palettes. Um, but check that out to see what I have, because because members can make requests. And so if you want to see a certain palette or a certain pairing or whatever, just comment under that video, especially the fourth one. So, what are y'all talking about? Jaws. Oh, yeah, the Jaws one. I'm like, I don't want no blue and white palette. Now, if it was like a murky green. Yeah, and the diner one, that was just too pastel for me. There's a woman on here, I forget her name. She's brown skin. And she does really bold, colorful looks. And she used that palette. And it was still looking kind of light, but she had put her vibe into it, so it looked nice, but it still wasn't enough for me to be like, yeah, I'm going to get it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I was just like, no. And I haven't purchased a palette from them. I did purchase the Moolah Bank one, which was lighter than Mission Triple X, and I almost didn't get it, but I'm like, but it's the only one that's closest to my vibe from Diner and Jaws and all of that. So I purchased it, and I used it a little bit, and I'm like, and it really was just too light for me, for my liking. But the formula was good though. So, but it to have loved and lost. That I love that freaking palette. Jaws, the first one, that will forever be an OG classic in my mind. The same as The Shining. But yeah, that first Jaws movie, I think it was on Netflix or Tubi or something not too long ago, a few months ago or something. And yeah, I watched it. Oh, you got the shark palette? And did a Jaws poster theme look. I'm gonna have to go look for that. If you can find it quick, text me the link, but I'm gonna look on your channel for that. All the other Jaws after the first one necessary. The one I hated was the one when they were in the Caribbean, because I hate fake accents. And so Mario Van Peebles, Mario, whatever his name was, I was just like, nah, that for bad accents, bad fake accents actually. It turns me off from the movie. I don't care how good the movie is. It just, I just can't stand it. Cute and it. It's your favorite watch DVDs. Yeah, the fourth one too. And the 3D one, I'm like, why? No. Oh yes, the original It. I did like the remake too, and I think they did good with the remake, because some movies they remake and it's like, what the hell is this? Oh, another remake, The Thing, because I think the original came out like in '79 or something, and I did watch it. I don't think it aged well, but I do really like the remake one though. Y'all, I said it in another video. Final Destination is coming out with another movie, and it's called Final Destination Bloodlines. And I'm like, is this going to be my first time going to the movie since before COVID? I don't know. But the trailer is on YouTube. I was just like, what? What? I like all the Final Destination movies. I really do. The only thing with the second one that kind of was like, that ain't work, is that the chick, Ali Larder, is her real name in real life. And the second one, she was like, all of them, they were my friends. They weren't her damn friends. She just got off the plane because they got off the plane. Maybe they became friends through the trauma, but she wasn't none of their friends. And when all of their parents came to get them from the police station, she was sitting there by herself. Like, nobody didn't say, hey, come on, I will take you home. None of them was her damn friends. But the second one, she was like, they were my friends. And I'm like, no, they weren't. But yeah, I do kind of want to see that. Did you like the Lethal Avatar collection? Oh, hey, see, Griffin, how are you? You snuck in on me. How you doing tonight? I did not get... I like the looks of it. I did. Even the Air palette, which is a light palette, and I do prefer darker tones, says me that has bloom. And I need a nude from Natasha. But I didn't, because I really thought about, I have other stuff similar to that. And I've been on this perpetual low buy, which means don't buy anything full price. And even though they had a bundle deal, the bundle deal was less than 10% off if you bought them all separate. And because I could easily dupe their colors, I have at least I have at least 8 lethal BYOBs. I have a lot of lethal. So I'm like, I could dupe that. dupe those color stories. But the packaging, and I didn't like the movie Avatar. It was kind of too woo for me. Um, but I did really like the packaging. And so I kind of went back and forth. But then me having similar colors from Lethal, I was just like, I'm not going to get it. So no, I didn't. So I did like it, yes. But did I buy it? No. I love Clue. I'm working on a series of Clue photo shoots where I do drag versions of all the 6 kids. That's going to be nice. You have so much fun. I wish you lived closer. Good night, Locke. Thank you for being here when you could. 'Cause I know you'd be multitasking. Oh, hey, Janet. Yeah, we're about to end now. We done went through the Sephora sale, the Nomad sale, my updated beauty budget, and the palettes I used for March. And now we're talking about movies. Makeup and movies. That's what I should call it. Oh, the second Shining was close to the book. Did I read the book? I don't think I read the book. I can say this for you, Janessa. I am enjoying We've Always Lived in the Castle book. I hated the movie, and I watched it twice because you were saying how good it was, and I still didn't like it. But the book, I mean, she gets a little long-winded sometimes, and she like if she talks about a flower, it's like a whole page describing this flower, and I'm just like, girl. But I do like the book. The movie, I was just like, I didn't like the movie at all. But I am liking the book. Well, that story, because the book has others, like short stories and other stories. But the three main stories is We Always Lived in the Castle, House on Haunted Hill. No, Haunted. What was the name of that movie? Haunted Hill House. They have that, and it was another main story, and all the rest are like short stories. But I am enjoying the book. I'm missing comments. I didn't like when they did the Shining remake or whatever, or like at the end when he was graduating and he was like blew a kiss and he's like, that's what we were missing. I'm like, that was corny. Like, why you do that? Oh, he did it because it was in the script. That's why. I'm gonna look out for that. Oh, that was the fourth one. So 1982. Why am I thinking 79? Kurt was so cute. Yeah, Final Destination. I saw the trailer on YouTube. I was like, what? Wait a minute. The sequel and the prequel they could have kept. Yeah. That logging truck scene, oh my goodness. Y'all, keep y'all water bottles in the holders. Because she couldn't pump the brake because the water bottle was under the pedal. That's something that could really happen. And that's what gets me about those movies is those are one of them like freak accident type things. And I'm like, that shit could really happen. I know she didn't even like them. They weren't her friends. And so that's what threw me off when she's like, oh, those are my friends. I'm like, bitch, no, it wasn't. Why are you lying? Like, I saw the first one and they was not your friends. But people who didn't see the first one, they might miss that part, or if they watched it but they don't pay attention. But I be listening. I'm like, they was not your friends. Now, you were on a business trip and working some crazy hours. I'll be glad to come home Saturday. Safe travels. I saw a YouTube video. They're going to do away with the TSA stuff. And I'm like, what? So that means anybody can bring anything on a plane. And the guy was saying that he thinks they're doing it so they can privatize it. Because if you do away with TSA, they're going to be like, oh, okay, we don't have enough workers. So then they can privatize and put their own people in there. And it's all about money. But so I don't know if that part is true, but he was saying that's what he thinks. But he did say they're doing away with TSA. And I do believe that because he's doing away with so much other stuff. So I'm just like, yeah, so it's like, can you keep us safe? Like the TSA keeps us safe. I'm like, this is just getting crazy. Listen, y'all, this is so funny. I laughed my ass off. Well, no, I didn't. I still got a fat ass. MSNBC, I forget her name, the Caucasian lady with the long hair. She is light brown hair, whatever. They did a short of a clip of one of their videos, and I sent it to Princess because I'm like, this is too freaking hilarious. It was saying how Trump across the board did 10% tariffs on the other countries other than the ones he's like, okay, 40%, whatever. And she said that she showed where one of the islands on the chart is uninhabited. Like there's no people. And she's like, he's saying he's on tariffs because they're ripping off Americans. She's like, how are they ripping off Americans? Is no people are there, period. And then at the very end, she says, I wonder if the penguins will retaliate. No, I lost it, y'all. It's like, so he's putting tariffs on places where people don't even live. It's at least like 2 different islands where there's no people. Why are you tariffing? It is so fucking stupid. But she was funny. I wonder if the penguins will retaliate. And she's never been snarky like that before. So I was just like, she really said that? And then the short cut off. I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm on the business. Yeah, so get home safely, Janet. If you like Clue, I think I watched it, but it wasn't my speed. I'm from the hood, y'all. The ones that asking me nice hotel. Okay, I've seen the staged version of Noises Off. We are really way off. I don't want to see the new Final Destination, but I want to see Sinners. I don't. Is that a movie or it's like on a streaming app? I feel like I've heard the name of that, but I don't know like what it's about or what. I have an app on my phone called Just Watch, and you type in the title of a movie, and it'll tell you what platforms it's on, and it'll tell you if it's on any of the platforms that you have. It's called Just Watch. Excuse me, so I'll look up that on there. Did you see Griffin? Did you see The Invitation? That's a vampire movie. It's either on Hulu or Netflix or Tubi. One of those three. But that's the good one. I was just like, oh, for the hotel for let's see. All right, y'all, we're gonna Dawn. I was like, doing away with the TSA. Most of the workers, because you know how he's gutting everything. How you want to gut security? Like what? And so I believe it when a dude. I agree with his thought process. So they can privatize it, so that way they can make money. Because it's easy to say, oh, they're not doing their job when you've cut half the workforce. Because how are they going to do the job when half the workers is fired? You know what I'm saying? And then you can bring in your own people. So I saw where he was going and coming from. The TSA isn't about who. Are you talking about who going to fly with no TSA? Because people will still fly. And I'm really thinking, like, do I really need to get out of here? Y'all know I just renewed my passport. So I'm like, do I really need to just, like, just get the fuck out of here? But I feel like if I left, I wouldn't come back. Like, for real. Because that and people with opening emergency doors. Saw a ladybug glow palette that was in the middle of trying. Population of it was only penguins. I'm just like, how the hell you want to tear off an island where nobody lived? It's just so fucking stupid. All right, yeah, we're gonna go because we are just so far off, and we just. Oh, if I leave, I'm definitely doing YouTube. I'll be like, expat, make Dion loves makeup. We over in Ghana or whatever. And there's channels about that, just expat channels. There's quite a few, and they get good views too. And the lady that lives on a cruise boat, she's older than me. I'm 55, and she lives on cruise ships. She just books back to back when she can, and that's where she lives. She gets a lot of views, y'all. She gets a lot of views. And she's only been doing this, I think, a year, maybe 2. And she said somebody had to tell her to turn on her gifts because she is monetized. Somebody had to explain to her how to do that. And she did that, and somebody else told her to turn on like your super chats and your thanks and all that. So people was wanting to like add further support to what she was doing. But I would definitely still keep doing YouTube. All right, y'all. I did not see. Okay, this is blasphemous. I know. I did not watch Game of Thrones. I sat through an episode with somebody I knew, and it wasn't for me. I'm not into a lot of fantasy type movies. I want to see something like Saul, cut people up but have a reason. Hannibal Lecter, he had a reason why he picked certain people. So I think it was just I'm not really into the fantasy, and maybe that's what it was too for Avatar. And then plus all the ooh, I'm just like, what are y'all chanting about? Like, what the fuck? But anyway, but I know there's a cult following for Game of Thrones. I do. I really do. No big loss, disappointing after all of it. Yeah. All right, y'all, we're going to go because we are seriously just sitting around the campfire chatting, sipping hot cocoa, and making s'mores. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. We're not doing a members live this Saturday. My Temu package should be here tomorrow, but then I also made another Mayron purchase for my kit because they had another sale, and I'm like, ooh, because their stuff is kind of expensive, reasonable, but still, I'm like, lower is still better. So I did get some more stuff for that. So we'll look at all of that in the members only video. I think that's it, and I have other ideas for members only too. But right now we're going to do one a month. maybe more. It just depends on how much I can come up with to do, and also what the members' ideas are, because they get to make requests on what's done. So yeah, so that is going to be it. Yeah, thank you so much. We'll be back here Monday, 8 p.m. Videos going up. Oh, what I wanted to say was next Thursday we will not do a live stream because I'm on Academy is coming up again, and we go on a Thursday and then it's over Sunday. I think that's the 10th of the month. So we won't have a live that day. I'll try to make sure there's a video that goes up. Yeah. So that's the only news. So we're going to go. Thank you for being here. Thank you to the replay crew if you're here and you're watching. And as always, self-acceptance, self-love. That is the Crazy Troll Nation way. Thank you, and you will see me soon. Good night, everybody. Everybody have a good night. And thank you to those who subscribed. I appreciate it.